Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Card Bar Hobby Chats. Tonight's episode is episode number 7, and I am extremely grateful and honored for tonight's guest, and I think you guys will really enjoy hearing his stories and just seeing some of the cards that he's going to share with us tonight. It's going to be a fun night, and I can't wait to bring him on. And this guy means so much to me because he was one of the two that really encouraged me to start a YouTube card channel. And so when I look back, and I started this channel back in August of last year, I look back and I'm like just overjoyed with the encouragement, the positivity that this guy brought to me. And he was really one of the biggest supporters in getting my channel started. And so I will always be grateful for him. And I am looking forward to bringing tonight's guest on. I'll go ahead and bring him in. All right, Matt, are you there?
I'm here. How are we doing, Ryan?
All right, Matt. Hi. Hello. How's it going?
I'm doing great. At you?
Awesome. I'm doing excellent. I'm glad to have you on this evening for our chat. Like I said, I am just incredibly grateful for you because you were the one that kind of put the bug in my ear to get a channel started. And so, like I said, I just, appreciate you so much for, just your positivity and your support and, really putting in that word and saying, hey, you should get something started and get something going because I think you got some good stuff. And so when I kind of took that to heart and here we are now. We got a channel started and I have you on tonight. So
no, happy to do it. And it was a pleasure. Obviously, it's been great watching your videos. And, for those that don't know, like we've known each other on X or Twitter, whatever it's called these days, but probably close to 2 years now. I feel like we've been following one another, showing cards, and like your enthusiasm for the hobby is infectious, to say the least, right? And obviously, you have a great display behind you. I have a blank wall I need to work on. So, but no, I mean, obviously, happy to support you, and like I'm so glad to see how the channel's grown so quickly.
Yeah.
And thanks for having me on.
Sure, no problem, no problem. I mean, like I said, I'm honored to have you on because I know what type of collection you have. I know how much, passion you have at what you're wanting to add to your collection as well. And, I guess one thing that I really enjoy is we both kind of have a similar likeness in what we collect. We collect, Hank Aaron and Eddie Matthews and we kind of similar collect the same way. And, you just have a broader range, probably more so than I do. But I do think we're very similar on, what we like to add to our collections. And so mainly, I just wanted to have you come on this evening, kind of share your hobby story with us, any great memories you have as you grew up in the collecting hobby and just kind of have you showcase what you have to offer. So.
Perfect. Oh, happy to do it. Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll go ahead and get started for this evening. This is Matt, the Card Story. And, for those that don't follow him, I definitely recommend following Matt. He is a fantastic follow on his YouTube channel. And I think he has X as well. And he has a Instagram as well. So definitely check him out. And, like I said, you will enjoy what he puts out there for you. So we'll go ahead and get into this. Matt, when did you start collecting?
So like a lot of folks, I think I collected when I was a kid, right? So mid 80s, I was born in 79. So 86, 87, tried to, opening packs like everyone else, right? Back then they were a quarter, if you can believe it. Can't you? And then, so basically $9 for a whole box of 36 packs, right? So the boxes had more packs in them, the cards had more packs in them. It's just way different now, right? And unfortunately back then there weren't really inserts, right? There were subsets, right? that we all liked, but so mid 80s for me. I did baseball and football. Of course, I didn't pick up the basketball, which would have been the right thing to pick up in 86, 87, obviously, with Flair, with Jordan, which I know you're lucky to have one of those Yankee rookie card, right? So, which is awesome. Happy for you. Still don't have that card. It's one I want to get one day, but even though I really don't do basketball, it's just a legendary card, right? Iconic card, or whatever they say. But I collected all the way through my junior year of high school, I think, like 96-ish. So about a decade. And then, of course, you start realize you want to do, you want to upgrade your stereo system in your car. This is back when we had the, I'm aging myself here, right? Some people in there may remember this, but like when you had to actually detach your faceplates so no one would steal it in your stereo.
Oh, yeah.
And we had
Oh
like
yeah,
I remember before I had like the card disc you had to attach like the little cassette tape in there, and you wanted to get the ESP protect. Anyway, I'm an old guy,
for
so
sure, for sure.
a lot of you guys are probably like, "What is he even talking about?" But yeah, so anyway, I collected about 10 years, then went off to college, and then obviously right out of college, I really didn't, we started a young family and all that good stuff, right? So
Mhm.
but I did jump in back a little bit in the hobby, like in the mid 2000s, right? And I kind of even in the 80s, I kind of player collected, right? So I didn't pull anything out, but I used to collect Ryan Sandberg as a kid, so second
Okay.
baseman for the Cubs, because WGN, was a
Oh
big
yeah.
deal back then in the mid 80s. The 105 start times, Harry Carey, it's just a lot of good memories about that. So then I came back at the hobby. I'm like, okay, I used to be a player collector. Let me find a player to collect in the 2000s. So I collected Chase Utley from the Phillies.
Hmm.
And that's when I kind of realized I've been a Phillies fan ever since, even though, so they won in '08, obviously, which was awesome.
Yep.
And I collected probably through 2010. And then when the team started breaking up, I kind of got out of it again. I'm like, oh my God, but everyone tried to move away. Like he went to the Dodgers eventually, and I was sold all my stuff for Outlet. My Sandberg stuff I still have, but I've actually over the years I can't find my box of like my main cards, which is a little bit devastating, right? So then I left the hobby. And really didn't come back until a few years ago with my son Tyrus, right? So but I've always been a huge baseball fan. Like I said, my son's named Tyrus, his middle name's Henry for Hank Aaron. So
Hmm.
Tyrus for Ty Cobb, obviously. But
Awesome.
so big baseball fan. Wife's super supportive. She knows this is what I enjoy. So but yeah, I've been doing it. So I've been back now for about just at 4 years this month, actually. We went to our first Dallas card show.
Awesome. Awesome. Great to hear. Great to hear. It's a great that you have, you're getting your kids involved into the collecting as well. And I think that's something that, I have a 4-year-old daughter and then twin boys that are 2. And so I can't wait to get them interested in collecting and at least, offer it to them and have them make that decision if that's something that they want to get into. But that's really great that you are collecting with your kids. So,
Yep.
but
You're gonna have a blast with it, Ryan. That's the best
yeah,
part.
yeah, can't wait for it. Can't wait for it. And like I said, on previous episodes, I kind of talked about how we've kind of already started with my 4-year-old daughter. We've kind of got her interested in the Topps Chrome Disney cards, and so
Yeah.
she kind of likes those. And we just recently put the newest set together in a binder for her, and she wanted one of those baseball Donald short, be like the super short print out of Topps Update, and so we were able actually grandma and grandpa bought her one of those, but it was a Royals one, which is really neat. So
Awesome.
so she definitely enjoyed that. We got it in her room and got it in a little stand, and so she enjoys it. So but
No surprise you got it took care of on the display. I know you always like to display your items. You can enjoy
oh
them,
yeah,
so
for sure,
which
for
which is
sure.
awesome.
Yeah, I like to see it, and that's something that when my kids get into it, I can't wait to kind of help them, and display stuff in their rooms, and I think we'll have a lot of fun with that. So, but
Definitely.
yeah, so well, that sounds great. Yeah, we all kind of how you described your collecting times. I think we all kind of take breaks every now and then. You know, sometimes whether it's we graduate from high school and then go off to college and maybe we're not quite as active or because I remember when I was in college I wasn't active at all in cards and I really didn't get actually I didn't really get started back into it probably until probably 2018 2019 is when I kind of got back interested in it. So because I was kind of the same thing, going off to college and just trying to figure stuff out, and cards really wasn't a priority for at least for me at that point. So but yeah, you're right, we all have our different times on when we are a little more active in it. So
Yep,
but
definitely.
yeah, so sounds good. All right, Matt. So, what all do you collect?
So I collect a little bit of everything. You alluded to a couple of the players. So I still player collect. So mainly it started off when I got back in April, or I guess March, April 22 was Hank Aaron again after
Mhm.
because I looked at my options and I was like, okay, well, Cobb's obviously very expensive. So I was like, we could get a bunch of Hank Aaron cards. So we literally went to our first card show at the Dallas card show. It took $45. I'm like, I didn't know how much cards cost. I guess I was just so out of it. I had no idea. So we walked away with like, this isn't the exact copy. I bought a second copy of this,
Oh
but
yeah, nice.
this is the 74 tops card number one. We
Hmm.
picked up this. We got an ungraded copy for $15. Um, And then back then, for those of you who follow my channel, I was kind of big into CGC because I didn't really like PSA at the time. So
Mhm.
I tried to pick someone new, and they were kind of the new upstart, and it was a lot cheaper to grade and quicker turnarounds, all the stuff, right? So we actually submitted that and got a 6, and we did a reveal video, and it was a lot of fun with Tires. I used to make videos together. It was great. So Hank Aaron's one of my guys, and then I did kind of go really heavy, like you kind of mentioned. There's the player run, obviously, which is like 70 some cards if you count the league leaders and
Oh yeah.
all the All Star cards and the various
Mhm.
subset card, the special set from '74. Because not only did
Mhm.
they have card number one, they had like an 8 card special. Every
Yeah. Oh
card,
yeah. For
an image
sure.
of every card he had from tops through that point, and so collected all those, knocked that out quickly, and I'm like, okay, I need to find what's next, right? So I went into like I called oddball, right? So we tried picking up oddball items. So think like your, bazookas and stuff. And
Yeah.
so I really like the bazooka cards. And so I did that. And then I'm like, okay, well, that lasted for like about a year and a half, doing Aaron pretty heavy. And
Mhm.
then around August of 23, pivoted over, started doing Warren Spawn as teammate, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this guy was pretty impressive. Doesn't get a whole lot of hobby love, even though his stats are ridiculous. I put some stuff yesterday on Instagram about it. Like, if you look at like the baseball reference, I know a lot of people look at baseball reference all the time. I love going
Mhm.
through there and just kind of looking at data, right? Like if you pull up any of the like career pitching stats, he's the first player you're going to see with a color photo because
Yeah.
everyone else, all the league leaders for wins, complete games, shutouts, were all dead ball era or older. At least they started their career during the dead ball, is what I should say,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
Walter Johnson obviously pitched into the live ball era, but anyway, no one started their career after the dead ball era. And has it anywhere near his totals, right? I guess Maddox is close on wins, but like complete game shutouts, just unheard of stuff, right?
Oh yeah.
So I got Spawn. I went heavy into Spawn as well. This is actually my first Spawn card I picked up was this 62 exhibit, Pittsburgh exhibit.
Oh.
I got
Yeah.
lucky one day. I was just kind of looking at. I used to buy a lot of stuff for Aaron on 4 sharp corners, right? So because
Mhm.
I like to just buy pick up cards basically for a lot cheaper than eBay. So I used to buy
Yeah.
cards. Found that for a steal. I don't think it's really an 8. If you grade it today, it probably would be way way less. But there just aren't that many of those. So found that, and then it kind of got me hooked. And so I tried doing all the Spawn cards for better part of a year, and then I've added Eddie Matthews, as you alluded to before, at about I guess fall 24. So and then kind of went heavy. So the problem is each one of these players had less and less cards.
Mhm.
So like Aaron has about 450 cards in his set registry, and again I use it as a
Uh-huh.
checklist. I have different slabs, all different brands at this point. I don't care much about having any one brand.
Yeah.
But and then Spawn has about 180, and then Matthews is like 125. So kind of getting less and less with each player, right? So I'm still doing player collecting. I actually added a new player last year in Strongsville in April 25. I added Rogers Hornsby to get a little second baseman action because obviously I had two previous second baseman player collections, but obviously now I didn't have one in the collection. So started
Yeah.
doing Hornsby then, and I got, let me see what I can show here for Hornsby. This is this is a pretty tough issue. This is the standard biscuit.
Oh yeah. That's
Uh,
awesome.
I think there's like 3 or 4 copies graded. It's
Wow.
got the where that was glued into a binder, or,
Sure.
photo album or something. But just the fact that you even have one of these is pretty cool. I got a bunch of
Yeah.
Hornsby items. I tried doing Hornsby then, and got into pre-war then, honestly, and then kind of just
Yeah.
gone on from there. So I collected a little bit of everything. In between all that, though, I tried doing like based on watching like those back pages. Eric, I've been a big fan of his for years. Actually, I've seen
Mhm.
every one of his videos. So I went back and watched them all when I first got into YouTube, and he was doing all these like non-sports. Like he was doing, I think he did like Da Vinci and a couple other ones where he
Oh
bought some pretty cool.
yeah.
But I did Ben Franklin, so I picked someone I obviously respected.
Sure.
So I picked up a
Oh
bunch of Ben Franklin cards too, and so these are really still pretty expensive. And so I have about 2/3 of the cards that are out there for Franklin. So I kind of cooled off on that because the pre-wars just got expensive. That's where I've been spending my time and
yeah.
resources
For
mostly
sure.
lately. But I still buy Aaron cards. I still buy as many as I can find. Right. I'm still
Yeah.
probably collecting all the guys. It's just there's less and less I need. I know it's like a first world problem,
Sure.
right? But
Yeah.
so but no. So
Well.
and then now I'm doing. So I kind of went through started doing the pre-war stuff, and then I'm like, okay, let me just being a numbers guy, so I do finances or financial, I do accounting basically for a living. So I'm like, I'm so focused on like Spawn stats. Obviously, Aaron had the home run record, and then obviously
Mhm.
subsequently broken, but he still has like the RBI record and stuff. And he and Matthews have the most combined home run. I just love numbers, right? So
Sure.
started like, okay, let me try to figure out if I can go after some new projects. So I started doing like the Warrior project, I call it. All the guys that have a war over 100,
Oh
and then
cool.
so I did that project, and I'm getting most. I think I only need like one more card to get like the everyone over 100 to have like an early / rookie card of all those guys, and so been doing that, and then I did the 500 home run. I only have a few left to get that finished up.
Nice.
And then like the RBI leaders. I'm trying to get everyone at least over 1,500 RBIs, and then 3,000 hits, and then 300 wins. So it's definitely broadened or widened my net, so to speak,
Sure,
but made
sure.
it fun, right? So I've done a
Yeah,
little bit.
yeah.
I'm all over the place now, I guess is a short answer. So
Well, yeah, and that's a good thing too because it makes it fresh. I think
yeah.
it makes yeah. It never gets to a point where like you get stuck or have a
Yeah.
feeling like, hey, I can go I can go do this project or I can go do that one, and it always keeps it where it keeps it exciting. Yeah, I
Exactly. No,
agree. I
I,
agree. So
I love that. I search for new cards. You know, at least look at them. I don't always buy. I tend to
yeah,
buy a lot of things I like, and I see them. I'm just going to grab them if I can. But
yeah,
it's gotten really
yeah.
competitive in all the auctions lately. I mean, it's really hard to win anything these days. It feels like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so.
That's actually, yeah. Well, we'll get to that at the end. I'll talk to you about the whole auction, kind of the whole auction scene on that. But yeah, I mean, I primarily, what I do is I go to card shops and shows, and I do a lot of eBay because it's
Yeah.
just simple for me. I find eBay the simplest and how I collect really. If I can't
Oh,
make it to a show or a shop, then I'll jump on eBay and you pretty much can find kind of what you're looking for on
yeah, they
there.
have. I
So,
mean, I'd say 2/3 of the cards I have are probably from eBay. The
mhm,
tough part I have with eBay now, though, is I'm looking for the real tough stuff that just doesn't come up. Is
yeah,
I hate to say this, I almost hate the fact that there's not like extended bidding. Like they thought they were going to talk about doing it at one point, but like because then you could get sniped, right? And like whereas like
sure,
a normal auction house, you basically decide if you're going to lose or not. It's up to you. You know
sure,
how much do you want to spend your money? It's basically
exactly,
like you have to decide to lose. I guess is my point.
yeah, yeah,
I mean,
exactly,
or that's just a reasonable price, right? So it's a
yeah,
little bit different. So,
yeah.
but yeah, we'll get into more of that later.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So, do you have a favorite set or card design? And I
I
know
do.
that's kind of a broad question, but and it can change on day to day basis. At least for me it does. So, kind of just want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, and it's a simple card, but I love the TV show. It's so nostalgic for me, and so I'm sure you probably already guessed what I'm going to show. But I got this one. I was fortunate to get this early, and I
Oh
love these
yeah.
home run derby cards. And if I could, I'd have the whole set. I thought
Oh
about
yeah.
doing it back in the
Fantastic.
day, but so these were issued, I think, in '60, but they call them '59. The show was shot in '59. It was on TV in the summer of
Mhm.
'60. But so there's the Hank Aaron, and then his actually first episode was episode 9, and he was on there with his teammate Eddie Matthews, obviously, who I
Awesome.
also collected. And again, I'm not a great. I used to be a great person. I got rid of that, thankfully, because it lets me have more cards.
Yeah.
So then
Yeah.
I wanted to get the host. So unfortunately, this host actually passed away in a
Uh-huh.
car accident. Right where the TV was coming, right where the TV show came out, he passed away that year. So I
Yeah.
grabbed this at last year's national. This one I grabbed off Facebook, and then I got the Aaron off Net54. So I look at everywhere I can to try to find kind of the harder to find stuff. But that's my
Oh.
favorite issue. It's just a lot of nostalgia. I mean, I remember watching those in the late '80s. They
Mhm.
rebroadcast all those, and
Yeah.
they've been on other things since then too. But
Oh
they're all
yeah.
on YouTube. So if you don't know,
Oh
guys,
yeah.
like, they're all free. They're all on YouTube anytime. They
Yeah.
have all like
There.
20, however episodes there are. I mean, obviously Mantle did really well. Maze is on there, Killebrew, Kaline, Banks.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just all the stars of that era are pretty much on
Yeah.
that show.
No. No, I
It's
agree.
awesome.
They're fun to watch. Yeah, I've gotten bored one evening, a couple evenings, and I've had it on down here, and yeah, they're definitely fun to watch for
I mean,
sure.
it's real campy, right? This is that's another out on the home run. It's
Yeah.
it's real
Yeah.
cheese, right? But it's I
Yeah.
don't know. Imagine like Leave It to Beaver. I mean, it's black and white. I don't know. A lot of
Yeah.
nostalgia for me as a kid.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Well, exactly. And I didn't grow up there in that time. So for me, it's a different viewpoint because, I grew up early 90s, I was born in 87 and so I was nowhere close to seeing that. And so from my perspective of watching it, it gives me greater appreciation of those guys during that time. And that's why I like watching it is because, it's just kind of paying, homage back to those legends at that time. And
yeah.
so,
And it was cool too because
um,
when they weren't at bat, he was talking to him in the dugout. Wherever they sat right next to the plate,
oh
right?
yeah,
So just really cool. I mean, you don't get to hear these guys talk on the video very much, right? So like I
exactly.
think I mentioned this in another video before. I don't know. I couldn't tell how much money I would pay if I could just watch like the 1956 season, 1957 season. I'd pay an extreme amount of money to be able to get every one of those games. Like
Oh yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sure someone's got them recorded somewhere. Maybe they don't. I just don't know. But like
yeah.
I would be very happy to even have like a new game every night. I would have
Yes,
a lot for that
yes.
subscription.
I agree. That would be fun to watch for sure. For sure.
There's a few out there, right? But it's hard to find like complete
Yeah.
games from
Yeah,
like the 50s and
exactly.
60s or
Watch,
older,
just
right?
find something complete. Yeah, yeah. I kind of wanted to get back with you on that home run derby set. Those are hard to find. I've been kind of
Yeah.
looking, and they're pricey when you do find them, and so I kind of think I missed out on those, unfortunately.
Well, it just depends on if you. It depends if you're trying to get like an Aaron. Aaron's gotten silly. I mean, like there was
Yeah.
even like an authentic one that went for like 4,000 or 5,000 recently.
Yeah,
I got mine, like
man.
I said, lucky I got mine wait like a long time in October 22. I
Yeah.
saw one at an auction that I didn't know how to bid on auctions yet at the time, so I screwed up and
Uh-huh.
didn't win. So then I was like scouring the internet. I'm like, I gotta have one of these cards, right? So the next day, I actually paid more for one grade lower or half a grade, whatever it was, and I didn't
Uh-huh.
care. I was like, paid like $50 or $100 more. I'm just like, I need this. I want this card. So I saw it at
Yeah.
54 on the listing, and I didn't waste any time. And of course, I was new to that 54, so like I had like no posts. I'm like, this guy's not going to believe who I am. He probably thinks I'm a scammer, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
but it worked
Yeah.
out. He trusted me. Actually, I used my YouTube channel and said, hey, I actually make YouTube videos with my son. This is who I am. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm legit. I promise you. I want this card. So anyway, it worked out.
Yeah.
Really nice guy. His name was Jason, but yeah, super nice guy. And
Awesome.
I feel bad now because I mean, it's unfortunate. Fortunately for me, unfortunately for Jason, it's gone up like four or five times.
Yeah,
Probably what I paid
well,
for
and
it, but
that's you just never know on especially sets like that and they probably didn't make very many of them, did they? They were probably pretty
there's like
hard to.
six. I think the most is like mantle. It's like 60 graded roughly, and of
Okay,
course you got to
okay,
assume probably a good chunk. Or there's probably I'm sure there's some people that have ungraded sets. Maybe there's
sure,
100 of each roughly.
okay,
If I had to
okay,
guess,
okay. All
that are
right. Well,
remaining
that
out there, right? So
yeah, yeah.
the toughest
There's
card is actually the announcer card because people are probably less prevalent to keep him, right? I mean, I hate to say it, right? Just you
sure.
have a baseball player, you want some random announcer that
Yeah,
unfortunately
yeah,
only have one
exactly.
show. So I
Yeah,
gotta imagine his probably is truly the lowest, but the demand is just not as high. So
yeah,
that one actually wasn't that bad. Like I said, I picked that up last year. The national wasn't too terrible, but I was
yeah.
happy to add that way I have the complete episode, right? So I
Yeah,
looked
oh,
up
yeah,
the
for sure, for sure.
umpire. He doesn't have any official card, so I thought about getting like a. He did have some like photos you could buy and stuff. I guess
Hmm.
that seems like Paparella. I thought about getting just to have like the complete episode, but
Yeah,
I haven't pulled the trigger yet. But we'll
yeah.
see.
Awesome.
He missed
Sounds
the
good.
55 Bowman set. He wasn't in 55 Bowman. I checked. I was hoping to get it. That'd been cool
Yeah,
because they're
that would
umpire
be.
cards.
Yeah, that would be cool for sure, for sure. Awesome. All right. Well, if money wasn't an option for you, what is your ultimate grail card that you would like to add?
Yeah. So I brought some examples of the set. This is gonna sound crazy because I don't think it's that expensive a card. I just can't find it.
Sure, sure.
So this is one of my. I'm lucky. The Braves had a lot of cool regional cards.
Yeah.
But one of my favorite sets, favorite companies is this dry cleaning company called Spick and Span. So
Hmm.
they made the
Oh no,
in
that's
1950 and 55 they made these cards and they distributed. This one was at the dry cleaner, so you can see the Spick and Span there.
hmm.
And then so I'm lucky I have the Spawn and I have the Matthews with both of them having that
Oh,
add back.
cool.
But obviously, where I'm going to go is I don't have the Aaron. They also distributed these at a gas station, so I have two of the Matthews. This is like a Wisco gas station or convenience store.
Okay.
The blank back, so I still need the Spawn blank back. Need is a relative word, you know what I mean, Ryan? But I'd like to have the Spawn blank back, and then
Sure.
I've seen Net 54 a picture now of what the Aaron looks like. I want the Aaron very
Okay.
badly.
Awesome.
That's my grail
Awesome.
card. Again, I know
That-
there's probably people like that's crazy. It's not that. It's probably if I had, I'm sure it'd be a few thousand, but it wouldn't be like millions or anything. It's just
Sure.
I just love
Sure.
to have it. It's a card I'd love
Yeah.
to have. Like I've seen the Dad's cookies; they're out there. They'll come around every year or two. This
Yeah.
card has never been for sale in 4 years. I don't think it's ever. There's only one copy graded, and it's by the number one guy in the set registry, and I
Yeah.
doubt he's ever going to sell it. He
Yeah.
actually has an autograph copy, which is insane.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
But
That's
he haven't shared
crazy.
the photo of it, so I couldn't see the photo. So I finally found one on F54 like a month ago. I was so happy. I screenshotted it. I saved it. I'm like,
Sure.
if I ever see this thing in the wild, it's gonna be back because whatever they have on the sticker, I'm gonna probably just ignore
Yeah.
Mike Moynihan and just pay it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because yeah. I mean, you'll probably never see it if you did run
Yeah.
across one. So
So
that's
I put it out there in case someone ever sees one. Please
Mhm.
hit me up on one of those social media things, or YouTube or
For
X
sure.
or Instagram. I will make your day.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, you're right. The Braves do have a lot of great regional cards around that era. I one of my favorites is the Johnson's cookie set. I like all of them. I like the 53, the 54, and
Yeah.
the 55 set. I think they're all
Yeah.
in their own way. They're great. So
Yeah, I pulled out
yeah,
I pulled out all of them. I
yeah.
have all. I have all. So the cool thing is how they changed them over the years, right? So like in
Mhm.
'53, there were just obviously Aaron's not in '53 because he was still in the minors, but
Sure.
or not the minors. He played the Negro leagues, and then he played
Yeah.
I think maybe some of the minor leagues that year. but that year they didn't have them as like the uniform number, but then in 54 they changed the uniform number, right? So like this is obviously the Aaron.
Oh,
He was number 5 that year, right? So because that was a rookie season. I just love that card. And
great
then
card.
this Matthews, I mean, just a great card. I remember picking this up at the Dallas Card Show with last January. Christian Reserve was next to me. He came in to visit for that show. And then the Spawn. And then, honestly, though, my favorite set is the 55s, even though it's not any my rookie card. These are just really cool. They're huge. So there's the Spawn. I'll do these quick, I promise. And there's the Matthews.
Yeah.
These came in like perforated sheets, right? I love that Aaron got multiple bats. So, like he's at the dugout leaning down, picking out lumber. Just cool. Yeah, you're right. Just cool issues. Only Braves. I mean, I'm very lucky, like I said, because they just did some great cards. And we joke about, a few of us joke about it, like on the social media. It's like, how did Topps get out? And again, they made great cards those years too, right? So to be clear, I guess it's fair. But like Topps made some not mediocre, but just how did this local dry cleaner have cards this cool? That's just kind of amazing to me, right? Honestly,
no, exactly. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe you have the answer for it. Does it? To me, it seems like it's harder to find the 55 Johnson cookies. Are those harder?
They are much harder.
I was wondering about that because I don't see them. I do a lot of checking on them because I've been looking for the Matthews, and I'm having a hard time finding one.
Yeah, there was one that just sold recently, I think on Facebook for a couple hundred just for a 2, and it was rough, like really rough.
Okay. Yeah.
And I was to another dealer selling it to them for that price. Like I was out to a dealer, so it's probably going to be. Yeah, they've gone up quite a bit. I mean, I paid, like for a 1 Aaron, I think it was like $5. I don't need to have money too much, like $500 just for one.
Really?
Just happen to have a copy, right? So like, and that's obviously, I don't know what it is now, right? But I mean, they're a lot tougher. That's by far the toughest. But I think the 53 is kind of cool because for Matthews, it's like a sneaky early card, right? It's a second year card, and
for sure. I mean,
they're great image. They're great images on those, and the Spick and Spans. There's like multiple Spick and Spans has like 7 different sets. Yeah, there you go.
There's mine. Yeah. Mine's not graded or anything, but I like it.
Great, man.
And then, as you know, I just got the 54 Spawn.
Heck yeah.
So excited on that one. Probably my next 2 is I would love the 54 Matthews and obviously the Aaron, but that's gonna take me a little longer, just budget wise. So I'm gonna have to really, be diligent on that, on saving for that one. But I mean, I would love to get the Matthews this year, the 54 Matthews, and that's attainable for me. So
I mean, look, I was talking about this with another YouTuber a couple weeks back. We went and had lunch. Like the fact they're able to buy cards when you have young children in this economy, are you kidding me? Like you're blessed, trust me. Like my kids are older. A different season of life is all I would say. And like I wasn't buying any cards. We were like formula diapers and hoping our month didn't run out before our money ran out, right? Type of thing. Or money before the month ran out. So. Yeah,
I tell you, the way I do it is eBay. I sell cards that I typically don't have to have in my collection. I kind of move those, and then I do set up at some shows here in Kansas. I do set up at one in McPherson, and I'm going to go set up at that one this Saturday. And so that's really how I do it. Is I kind of have to, just sell cards that I don't necessarily want to keep, and just kind of save some money, and whatever I find and hits that budget at that time is kind of what I go for. So
that was cool. When Mike Jayhawker came and visited at that show and surprised you, right?
Yeah,
it sure was. Set up with you too, right? I think, right? So that's cool.
Yeah. My dad always comes with me. He enjoys it. He's that's one thing great about my parents is they got me interested in it. So it's really cool that they're still interested. And then they're also, it's a full circle moment as they're getting my kids interested in it. So it's really neat. It's really neat. And like I said, my parents are, they're still buying cards. They still go to card shows and card shops, and they enjoy it. And my dad still goes on eBay and looks at cards. And so it's just really enjoyable to be able to spend that and still have that bond. I feel blessed and grateful that I'm able to do that. So
do they display their stuff as well like you do, or do you get that on your own?
No, most of theirs are in boxes or totes. They generally, no, they don't have they don't have display cases like wall cases. I think my dad does have a little bit out kind of in some entertainment shelves, but other than that, no, most of their stuff is in like 2-row boxes or black totes or that type of stuff. So But yeah,
That's cool.
so yeah, like I said, he enjoys coming and just and is it's just a bonding experience. We still have that bond, and like I say, it's grateful. I'm grateful that I'm still able to share that with them because
That's awesome.
it's special for sure. So, but yeah, and like I said, it's a full circle deal because they got me interested and they're getting my kids interested, and so it's like I said, it's a lot of it's it's a lot of fun. So,
Yeah. Oh,
but
cool.
yeah. So, um, Matt, what is your favorite hobby memory? Now, this could be growing up, or this could be current. What's your one of your favorite hobby memories?
Yeah, I mean, I think it has to be. And you hate to. And I don't mean to pick one story that's got one kid and without the other one in it, but my wife was pregnant with Tyler, so he was technically there with us. But when I was back in the cards a little bit, like in 2011, I guess we lived out in the Bay Area. I moved out there for work back then. So Willie Mays was coming to the Cow Palace. It's called the Cow Palace. It's just outside of the city, San Francisco. And so we went up to the card show. Ripken was there too, so we went to Ripken first. That was like a 2 hour line, which was still way worth it. He was awesome. So nice to my son, Brody. So my older son's Brody. He was like, let's see, so 2011, he had been three, or not quite three, almost three at the time. So young man, right? So
Sure.
so that was like a lot to ask him to sit there with us all day. And then of course I'm walking around the tables, and then we go back and Maze. It's time for Maze, and so Maze in the afternoon. So I go wait in line for Maze. And I'm literally like the last person in line, or like one last people in line. And so by that point, my son's just like beside himself, like super upset, super cranky, and so he starts crying. Well, we get up to the line, like Willie Mays like stops down everything, and he's like, Lily, he grabs him. He's like, "Hey, let me have your son." And he holds my son and rocks him in his arms, like Willie freaking Mays. So that's my
Wow.
favorite. And my wife actually, my father-in-law was with us. They lived with us at the time, and he recorded it. So it's on YouTube, my wife's channel. I need to probably drop a link at some point. There's a couple other
Yeah.
videos that my kids and I kind of, my older son and I kind of did doing some stupid dancing. So I was afraid people would see that, but I probably should just share it and say screw it. It doesn't matter because like the
Yeah.
video of Willie Mays is freaking, it's crazy. Like he's literally
Yeah.
holding my son, right? I mean, obviously,
That's
I mean,
unreal. Wow.
I can still
Wow.
picture it. I can know the jacket he's wearing. I can just visualize it. Like it was,
Wow.
and I felt bad because some people had such a bad experience with Willie Mays. You always hear that a lot. That he was like kind of a cranky old man and like
Yeah.
wasn't always the
Yeah.
kindest person. But like for me, best autograph experience of my life. And I've done a lot of autograph sessions. I've
Yeah.
taken a lot of autographs, but like bar none. I mean, I have the ball somewhere, but to me, it's just a memory. And it's on, like I said, it's on YouTube.
Sure.
But
Sure.
it's
Wow.
cool. So to me, that's my favorite memory. Not a
Wow.
card, just an
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah. No, and that's sometimes that's the best is the experiences that we get along the way, especially when you meet someone of that's that much of a star that it kind of I bet you were taken back by that for sure.
Oh yeah,
You're
if you saw
just
me
kind
at
of
the
like,
end, like, yeah,
yeah,
my cheeks were red because I was like, flushed with like emotion, right? Then I could like shake his
yeah.
hand, my hands are red even. Like anyway, I can still
Wow.
I remember like it was yesterday, but it was like May of 2011, so it's been a
Yeah.
long time. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah,
That is
but
that
it's so
is
cool.
That's incredible. Well, thanks for sharing that, Matt. That's
Sure.
awesome. That's a great memory. That's a memory that you will always remember for sure.
Yeah.
And that's something that'll never go away. And so what's great about this just enjoying cars or just enjoying athletes is like you said that you were able to experience a great memory with him, and as you said sometimes there has been stories, and my one of my favorites is George Brett, and we know George Brett, he's sometimes is kind of that way towards autographs too, and so it gets to the point where they've signed so many autographs that they probably to some extent they probably do get a little irritable and tired of doing
Oh, I'm
that.
sure.
and
Yeah, I can't
and
imagine.
so
They want some personal time, right? I
so
get it, right? So yeah,
yeah, and maybe sometimes you catch them at a bad moment or a bad day, or we all have moments where it's not the best time to be like that, be super upbeat or super nice at that moment. So but
yeah.
yeah, no, that's an incredible moment, and just awesome that you shared that, so thank you.
You bet.
um all right. What is one card from your collection that you would never sell?
Yeah, and it's technically not in my card, but the one card would be this one. So Um, this is the one we got from my son Tyrus at the 23 Nationals. That was our first time to go. We go every year now as a family, so we're going again this July. This will be our fourth
Awesome.
time. But my wife always liked this card. She knew
Yeah.
about it. She actually wanted to like Scott's obviously very good at the art. Like she wanted like to paint this, but she's pretty good at art, like doing painting and drawing and stuff too.
Mm,
She wanted to paint this and put up in his nursery, we just never got around to doing it. So
sure.
so anyway, she's like, she always kept telling me you should buy this car, and of course it kept going up and up and up. So I finally bought it. Christopher Missouri helped me negotiate this with Stan. But yeah, so pick that one up. That one's never leaving the collection. Um,
Fantastic.
so look, it's nothing special in terms of grade or anything. It's got a
Yeah.
crease through the border, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
It's my
Exactly.
son's like first big card, and it'll be his, and it's his now, right? But it's just one of
Yeah.
the cards that's never leaving the collection.
Awesome. Awesome. That's a good one. That's a good one to have for sure. For sure.
Yep.
So, do you have any current hobby projects? Now, most of us collectors, we will always say yes onto that question. But what are some of your projects that you're wanting to work on or currently working on?
Yep. And I feel like I probably stole the thunder for this one a little bit, but yeah, I'm working on a lot of these various statistical projects at this point. So
Mhm.
the player runs are still going, but they're just slow going at this point. I'm down to
Sure.
like 90 cards for across the 3 players left playing days, and honestly, like 17 of those are J Publishing, which I
Yeah.
mean, it's not that I don't like them. I just have a hard time discerning which one's which, and so I'm trying to buy them like in a slab already, which I know is a terrible waste of money, but like it's so hard to tell which one's which year. And anyway,
Yeah.
and then there's
For
like
sure.
15 of them bottle caps from Coca Cola for Aaron. So like there aren't that many cards. There's probably like 40 cards left ish,
Mhm.
and then a bunch of random stuff like sportscasters, stuff like that. So trying to get them all, but so I have finished a lot of big runs lately. There's been some set guys that sold a lot of their stuff. So I finished cons. I finished all the Bennies, all the OPG for all the players, tops. I have all their single bazookas. I have one more bazooka panel. So that's kind of on the player one side. I'm down to the end of the road on the players for the most part. I mean, I needed like the very rare stuff, like the one I mentioned before. There's like the Pittsburgh exhibits for Aaron
Oh
and
yeah.
Matthew, stuff like that. Just like I meant, it's just a matter of money, and then next time comes up, I need to like bite the bullet type of thing. But
Sure.
so now that's why I kind of pivoted to other collections, right? So I've been doing, like I said, the rookie cards,
Mhm.
or early cards, because not all the rookie cards are attainable, right? So
Yeah.
so anyway, been dipping my toe into that water. So like, and it's funny, I'll buy anything, right? So like, I pulled out some stuff from like my childhood, right? I never had this as a kid.
Yeah.
So obviously, he's like top 5 in war of all time, right? I'm not sure if everyone realizes that
Oh
because
yeah.
I always all those
Yeah.
Cy Youngs he stacked up, but I never had that card, and so
Yeah.
again, you can tell I collect anything. I don't care about the slab anymore. So like, I
Sure.
never had this card this as a child either.
Yeah.
Like that's
Nice.
Olympic tops. So like, I picked this up. It's nothing special, but like
Yep.
it's not the Tiffany. It's just the base version. So and then even this one, like, this is like $20.
Yeah.
Like I mean, this is
Yeah. Great card.
nothing too fancy. Not the Tiffany, but like just want to get the an early card. And then
Sure.
I've been taking advantage of like Fanatics gives me all these coupons every month. So like I got this for $5. Adrian
Oh,
Beltre.
nice. Very
So like
cool.
I don't know. Just like
Yeah.
I've got to buy the modern stuff too because they're like obviously 500 home run clubs. So
Yeah.
and then I like the rookie cards. I'm trying to do a little bit of unique stuff, right? So I got like the Johnny
Yeah.
Bench. I like the cons cards. I picked up
Yes.
rather than getting like the tops or the Vennies. I found are like I can get this. I can get a really rough Venny, or I can get this. I really have this. It's just a little more
Yeah.
unique. I like that it
Yeah.
says John Bench instead of Johnny Bench, and so
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm into these days. I'm doing pre-war cards as well, and that's gotten obviously a little bit more a little tougher to get those. It's just because it's been hard to find nice ones, and honestly, there I've just kind of given up on the nice ones. I'm trying to get a card. So like, obviously, I got this one.
Mhm.
Sammy
No.
Thunder helped me get this one at a card show. He actually was at a show, and I saw this
No.
on eBay, and he was able to negotiate and save me some money on the Williams. So, and then this is obviously your state.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So
Very
got that
nice.
one. Another one on
Very
Dead
nice.
54, right? So
Yeah.
that one's rough condition, but like the picture itself is pretty good, right? So like
Yeah.
obviously you
Oh
got
yeah.
it's trimmed, and then there's a corner missing, but like um
Fantastic.
the picture itself looks great. I know you have a from that set too. That's just a beautiful set. Like
Yes.
I'd love to
Yeah.
have more cards from that set, but like and I really want to get the one I need again need. The Jesse Burkett one's gonna be tough because it's I think that's a blank back square corner. It's like one of the really tough ones to get, and he
Yeah. Oh
has very
yeah.
few cards, right? So
I tell you, yeah, those cards are hard to get. They're hard to find.
yeah,
Even I mean, you can find them a few on eBay, but even they're starting to get harder to even find on there. So
yeah.
for
People are trying
sure,
to build the sets, I think, right? So
yeah,
and then
yeah.
now like some of the other ones I looked at, I picked up one of these recently. This is like from the old Judge, and
Oh,
again,
nice.
like this is more about like the you want I guess like this one's a two, but and there's writing on the back, but I don't really care, right? I'm not sure
Sure,
what they even wrote
sure.
there. I can't read it, but like to me, these are more about like the image. One to be like a strong like contrast or whatever, right? So that's why I've been getting help from some of the hobby folks like Aaron Value Vintage and
Oh yeah.
Bill Gary from Rookie Collector 123.
Uh-huh.
Like help me out because again, this is kind of new to me. So I've only been doing pre-war other than like that Cobb I showed earlier, and the one Babe
Mhm.
Ruth I got at the 24 National. I've only been doing pre-war for like a year. It's
Yeah.
just new to me, and I've still a
Sure.
lot to learn. So that's been fun to learn that, but then obviously kind of like cool my jets a little bit here because we got Strongsville Independence coming up in 3 weeks. I've been haven't bought much the last couple of weeks, like last month.
Yeah.
It really like 2 or 3 cards total. It's not too bad.
So, what's your strategy when it comes to pre-war? Are you picking up just sir? Are you kind of getting like set types, or are you just strictly going after certain players that you're kind of targeting? How are you kind of going about your pre-war?
So yeah, I'm not doing type collecting. In fact, I've already like so for example, this set. Again,
Okay.
it's what I've done, Ryan, is like the I want the earliest card I can afford. Right. So like that kind of started
Okay.
like, when I did this Ruth back at the CIA auction like in December from that Godfather collection that Greg got, right?
Sure.
Like it's a 1920. It says Yankees, like one of his first Yankees cards, but like I'm not gonna be able to afford the M101-4. I'm not gonna be able
Yeah.
to like he has very few other issues of those early like late teens, like the Collins McCarthy's crazy,
Hmm.
etc. Right. So same thing happened with this guy. So like Nap Lajoie, he's got
Oh
like
yeah.
45 cards graded before this issue, and they're all like that W600 or a couple other
Yeah.
sets like the Bryce Williams E107. So like yeah,
Hmm.
it's a game card, right? It's from
Yeah.
1906, but it's still a cool card. It's still early. Like the photo is really nice, right? So like
Yeah.
I'm just so I have, but I got another one. I got the Eddie Plank. It's got a sticker on it still, but the price is off. It's just I got this from Coach
Oh,
Neal
nice.
recently, cardboard Coach
Yeah.
Neal. It's like
Yeah.
again, same
Very cool.
problem. His early cards are like there's like 40 or 50 of them total graded,
Yeah.
and like they're all like 5 digit, upper 4 digit or a 5 digit card. I'm like, well, earliest I can afford. So
Yeah.
yeah, I have two from the same set, but I'm okay with that. Same thing with Old Judge. That's kind of where you are. There's really only
Sure.
like Old Judge or like Allen and Ginter. That's really about, and obviously the Goodwin Champions. But there's only a handful of players in the Goodwin Champions for baseball, right?
Sure.
Because it was a multi-sport,
Yeah. Yeah.
multi-facet set. So like you're kind of gonna have to have repeat sets. I'd love to be a set type collector. Like there's so many sets I want to get a copy of, but since I'm trying to focus on getting like a card for each player
Sure.
outside of like Common Ruth, I'm really just trying to get one card because it's
Awesome.
cost prohibitive, and then
Yeah.
obviously I want to have as much variety as I can in the collection. I'm kind of really
Yeah.
enjoying getting a little more variety. So I try to so focus on Hank Aaron, kind of like
Yeah.
what Theo's doing for the most part. It's almost all Roberto Clemente for him, right? He
Yeah.
has a little bit of Dick Road, a little bit of Musial, but like it's 98% Clemente. That's how I
Yeah.
was for the first 15, 18 months where I was just hardcore Hank Aaron, and
Yeah.
then it's been fun branching out. So
It is.
I've
Yeah.
enjoyed
No,
it.
I agree. It's fun. It definitely is fun branching out because, like you said earlier, it gives you different avenues of where you can go, and you don't feel stuck. If like if you're like player collecting, especially if it's something that they don't have as much modern, modern. If you don't collect the modern stuff of that player, then you're getting into some of the harder, scarce stuff. You could feel like you're stuck and kind of hard to get out of that. So yeah, I mean, yeah, when for me for the pre-war side, I'm just trying to get a type for each. I'm trying to find a type for each set. Is kind of how I'm going. I'm just trying to find an example for
Yep.
each one of the sets. It doesn't have to be a Hall of Famer. If I run into a Hall of Famer, that's fine. But if I find a nice card that I like that fits the budget, that's kind of how my approach is to the pre-war right now. So,
Yeah.
and I've had a fun time learning it because, like you say, there's so much to learn about it. So,
Oh, there's I love all
so
the oversized cards, as you know. But the other thing too about the like the type collecting is probably where I'm going to go next because when you think about it, I've got a lot of like the most of my projects are going to be wrapping up. I mean, it's crazy. I've gone pretty quick on this project too, so I feel like within a
yeah,
year or two, I'll probably down to doing that because it's crazy to say this out loud. I don't have any Cracker Jacks either
yeah,
year. I don't even have a T206 card.
yeah,
I don't have a Gaudy card for like
yeah.
the main Gaudy sets. I have a later Gaudy like when they did like the
Like the
36
wide
or
pin,
yeah, the wide pens. I have some
wide
wide
pin.
pens for like
Yeah,
Hornsby, but like I don't
yeah.
have the main Gaudy sets we think of, the 33, 34
Sure,
sets, right? So
sure.
don't have one. So no,
Yeah,
not what was me, just like there's still things I haven't got. Like that's what's great.
sure.
I feel like I have a
Yeah,
pretty diverse collection, but there's key sets I don't have an example of.
yeah,
So to your
yeah.
point, I can see myself doing that. Like I like to there's not a rookie card set, I like to get a War cigar. Those are really
Oh,
cool,
yeah.
right?
Sure.
There's just a lot of cool sets I like to have a copy of. At least
Yeah,
I'll probably gonna go down that lane at some point.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
just a
No,
matter of when.
yeah. Well, I tell you what, I can't wait to see what you add when you start going down there.
Yeah.
I already know how you're gonna you're gonna find some good stuff in those sets. I know that. So
I hope
I'm
so.
looking forward to seeing that when you do get down that road. So for sure. But yeah. Right now, what is your favorite thing about this hobby?
I mean, I really enjoy this. So like you'll see my YouTube channel. There won't be a video. I think I did actually it's so funny. YouTube in my Hall of Fame voting a reel because it was so short. I haven't done a video of my own in like a year. And so what
Yeah.
I've enjoyed about the hobby, I always like love the hobby. I like doing the social media, like posting cards and seeing everyone else's cards. That's why I enjoy that. But then I also enjoy like the collaboration. Because I feel like it's almost like a collaboration, but it's just distance and virtual, whatever.
Sure.
But I enjoy getting on and collaborating, right? So you see, anything I've been on the last year has been I've been on Hobby Palooza last summer. I was on it for a couple of years
Yeah.
now. I was obviously did one with Jayhawker recently, did
Yep.
one with Aaron. I mean, and Kyle, like this, it's just been fun hanging out with people. That's what I enjoy doing, right? So I'm looking forward
Yep.
to Strongsville. So going to the car shows, with other people, doing the collaborations on YouTube, and then obviously, the occasional card when you find a good card that you like, that's obviously a fun part too. But it's really the people, it's
Good.
interacting with other folks.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
because again, I think we talked about this, maybe off screen, but like the sharing the cards is like the or seeing other people's cards and being excited for them when they get a card. Like I love when my friends get a really good card that you
Yeah.
can just tell they can't hide their smile. There's
Yeah.
nothing better than that, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's the best thing about this hobby is just the cards bring us together, but it's the memories that we're able to, if we're able to go to shows or shops or just anything, if we're able to spend time with those people that collect kind of similar to us or, just enjoy, collecting in general. Yeah, that's really what this is all about. So
yep,
I totally agree with you.
yep,
Definitely. So, yeah. Um, and really like when you get on YouTube and start creating videos and content, it really started hitting me probably a month after I started my channel is just the easygoingness that this community brings. It's very easy. They provide a lot of great support, encouragement, and it really has been a brotherhood is the way I look at it. You do develop relationships and you can't watch everyone's videos or content, but you kind of have to select what you're interested in and kind of go down that. But yeah, I agree. It's being able to talk like-mindedness with other collectors is fantastic. So
yep,
but
100%.
yeah. So I I'm hoping that we can meet sometime. I would love to meet you either like in
Definitely.
Dallas or like even maybe a show in Oklahoma City or yeah, I would love to. So hopefully we can get that done here soon.
We need to get it done. I know obviously you got a large young family, right? So it makes it difficult to
It
travel probably in terms
does.
of going to like a Strongsville is gonna be tough for you, I'm
It
sure.
is. Yeah. As
But yeah,
much
we
as
definitely need to find one in between. If even I know like maybe you do one of like the Kansas City, like somewhere where we can all meet with a bunch of other folks too, it'd be
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
But
As,
yeah, we gotta make it happen. There's no reason
yeah.
not to. So
Yeah, as much
um
as I would love to go to Strongsville this year, I would absolutely love it. But I right now I can't because
yeah.
of I've got three,
Yeah.
I've got three littles that they require a lot. So it's just and I don't want to leave my wife hanging. I don't want to be gone a whole week, and it brings the same dilemma of even going to the national. Like I would love to go to the national, but the same thing is with the national is our wedding anniversary is that in that last week of when the national is. And so, and this year is going to be 15 for us. And so, it's going to be hard to try to sway my
If
wife into being able to go to the national instead of spending time with her. So,
well,
but
congratulations in advance. We just did 20 last Friday. And
awesome. Thank you.
funnily enough, my boys and I left about 3:30 in the morning the next day to go to Oklahoma City for a card show for them to set up at. But
Yeah.
yeah, my
Yeah.
wife's a saint. But yeah, I mean, obviously not advisable probably. But
Definitely not.
so I didn't
Uh,
leave that day. I don't felt super bad leaving that day. It was technically
yeah.
the next day, but it was like middle of the night basically.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So
family
as much
first.
as I would love to get to like a big show and meet you guys, I would absolutely love it. It's just right now is just a tough time for me to get away. So,
I get it.
but yeah, hopefully, good thing is, we can maybe hit up a show in Oklahoma City or Tulsa or Wichita. There's some in Wichita. There's some in Kansas City. So we've got options that we can make it happen. And so I
Yep.
can't wait. I can't wait for that day, Matt. That'll be a lot of fun.
Definitely.
All right, sounds good. Well, let's get into these rapid fires. These will be fun. Some quick, easy hitters here. All right, pre-war or golden era?
I love pre-war right now, but I started in golden era, so I'm gonna be loyal to golden era.
Sure,
So
sounds good. I don't think you can go wrong with either.
Yep.
Yeah, not at all. All right, T206 Wagner or the 52 Mantle?
Wagner.
Wagner, yeah. I agree. I think there's as iconic as the 52 Mantle. It's an iconic card, but there's just so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, I could probably eventually one day maybe get like a run over copy if I really wanted to. But there's no way I'm ever going to be able to afford it. I mean, I have to win the lottery to get a Wagner, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
Yeah.
in any condition, right? It's just like it's not on the table, right? So
yeah, exactly. And I tell you what, the one that you had here a little while back, you had that 51 Bowman Mantle, and I tell you what, I like that card.
Yeah, no, I did. I know I pulled this out too because I know it's episode 7 here. Obviously I did replace it right with this 51.
Yeah,
Least
that's
premium,
nice.
right? But
great card.
I did trade it away. Like the problem is back there spreading out my equity, whatever card equity, but you have to make some decisions, right? That I know Tony's done it, Southern Collector, and so that was actually really inspiring to me. That one video he did. I know it wasn't his. Like he kind of borrowed that from another I think podcaster or YouTuber, but that kind of that concept of being your own CEO. I kind of took that to heart. Like this would be whatever I want it to be. I could in theory go sell all my Hank Aaron cards. I'm not going to do it, but I could, right? But like. Nothing's set in stone. Everything's quote unquote available. But again, maybe except for that one Ty Cobb. But like, I'm not gonna do it. But I mean, you could. Because trust me, I thought about this. Like, if I sold everything, almost everything, I probably could maybe get an authentic Ruth, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
But like, you'd have a card. Like, I'm not sure how good of it's not a collection at that point, I guess, right? But like, you start wondering, like, if you don't do that soon, are you ever is gonna be like the Wagner one day? I don't know. I thought about it, but I just can't do it. There's no way. I like having the breadth of the collection. So.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No, and I think most of us do. Most of us like to have a wide range and a variety. So yeah, for sure. All right, auction houses or eBay? What's your preference?
Yeah, I'm gonna go auction houses. If you'd asked me that 2 years ago, it'd have been I wouldn't have really been into auction houses a ton, right? But like I said, now the thing about the stuff I'm looking for these days is like. That sniping is painful. Like when you lose something like last second, and it's like because it's happened to me. Like there was trying to think of more recent. But there was a Topps Hocus Focus or whatever it is for 55, super rare. I've only seen one copy for sale for Eddie Matthews.
Oh really?
And like the 2 years I've been collecting them almost, I guess, right? But like I lost out last second. I still feel it, right? Same thing. There was a Pittsburgh exhibit Aaron that I lost out last second, right? So it's just like. I don't know, man. eBay, like I love eBay. Trust me, I still use it a lot. I love it. I use it. I on it every day. I log in every day. But like the ability like to control it is tough. Like that's why I do a lot of best offers and buy it nows.
Yeah.
And I get something super rare. I just hit the button. I don't like if it's within like $50. I'm like because at some point like you that pain of not like the. I always say that it's the era of omission than the commission. I feel like right, like
yeah,
borrowed that from like Buffett, I think, right? But like the era of omission hurts worse. Like when you always regret the ones. The ones that got away, right? The non-buyer's remorse, whatever I call it. So anyway, I just don't. Auction houses make that where it's really just up to you if you can quote unquote afford it, and you can live with the price and hold your nose if you have to. Sometimes knowing it's not going to come available for several years. Because again, like I mean, some of these cards just don't come up that often. Like I mean, there's cards like they may only come up every 5 or 10 years, and like you gotta strike while you can. If you lose out on the last minute eBay snipe, that's devastating. I don't know. I've lost some auctions. I'm like, I've been like bummed out for like a day, which is really bad. It's cards, right? But it's like that's pretty bad to say out loud, but it's true, unfortunately.
I mean, I think we've all lost out on something that we really wanted, and kind of was like, man, I should have if I would have done a little more, I could have brought it home, type of deal. But I tell you what, there was as actually a Roger Hornsby item that I lost out on the other day on eBay. So, and it ended up, I was looking back on it. I regret I should have put a little more on it, but it is what it is. So
but you never know if it would have been enough. That's the thing I always tell myself. But it's like in the moment right afterwards, you look at that and you see did not, got away or whatever. That's the worst
Yeah,
notification I
exactly.
get.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just one of those things that you never know. Even if you think you could have put a little more on, it doesn't mean that you're going to win that either.
Exactly.
So,
And that's why I still like
it's
the uncertainty of it. I guess I'm
yeah,
a controller, so maybe I have control issues, but I like knowing that I can decide if I want to go a little more or not, and then
exactly.
having that
Exactly.
discretion. Whereas but that's why some of the auction houses I don't like though, because they end like at 3 in the morning. I don't stay up that late anymore. So like
No, yeah.
those frustrate me too. That's equally as bad. Where you basically go to sleep and you hope you win, because like you're not gonna stay up till 2 or 3 a.m. or it's a random time. It's like 10 minutes after the last time anyone bids on anything in the auction.
Yeah.
But that happened recently. There was one week or two ago I was trying to find the M102 Grover Cleveland Alexander, and like I thought I won. I
Mhm.
went to bed thinking it was over, and it ended for 4 more hours. I don't even know. It was the first time I've been
Oh,
in an auction,
wow.
right? So I need to
Huh.
read the rules better. But overall,
Yeah.
I like the big ones. I know kind of how the rules work, and
Yeah.
if I want something and it's not unreasonable, like at least you can kind of control your own destiny. I like
Sure.
that. So
Sure. Sure. All right. Well, this one's fitting for both of us, I think. Preference, and I know it's going to be a tough one to decide on. Hank Aaron or Eddie Matthews? Which one do you enjoy collecting a little more or picking their items up?
it's gonna have to be Hank Aaron. I love Eddie Matthews. Trust me. I'm looking at 52 tops here in front of me.
Yeah.
It's like I love this card, but
Yes. Fantastic.
The Hank Aaron, I don't know. He means a lot to me. Like I said, my son's middle name is after Hank Aaron, and just a very humble gentleman. I mean, I had a great. There you go. That is
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
54 tops. I mean, that's
Yeah.
like the
All
best
right.
top. Yeah.
Fantastic. So,
You can't
yep.
go
All
wrong
right.
with either one, but I think, and I do like. I have times where I feel bad about what happened. Like the fact that like Matthews was touted to be like next Babe Ruth, right? And then literally his teammate kind of
Yeah.
outshines him. Like I kind of put myself in his shoes. That must have been a tough pill to swallow. But then the grace he showed when he was the manager when Aaron broke the record later, like trying
Yeah.
to help him, like not have people in the locker room bothering him and stuff. And I was like,
Yeah.
man, he was super good about the way he help
Oh,
support
yeah.
Aaron through that difficult time. I just like they were great teammates and obviously great later on when the record happened. I love both of them. I'm happy
Yeah.
I'm fortunate to collect both of them, but I've got to lean towards Aaron
Yeah.
just barely.
Yeah. No, I agree. Like I say, I'm the same way. I love collecting Matthews as well. I feel like he's very undervalued and underrated in this hobby.
Yeah.
And really, he's got a lot of nice looking stuff. I think there's a lot of great issues out there for him, and you can get good deals on him. So,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
and but I would have to go Hank Aaron as well. So it's just he was kind of where it all began with me with the vintage side is he was the beginning for me.
Yeah.
I'll kind of quickly tell you my brief little bit. That was probably my first vintage baseball card was a 1969 Topps Hank Aaron, and I remember my parents bought it. They bought it I think they bought it at a card shop up in Lincoln, Nebraska, and right when I saw that card, it instantly was like, yep, I'm going to collect Hank Aaron because just the iconicness of him and what he did and what he had to overcome.
Yeah.
So it's kind of one of those. He's kind of one of those that once you see a lot of his cards, you're just like, yep, I'm gonna go fully in on him. So and that's how I feel. So, but
100%.
and then this last one's another tough one for you. You have some fantastic stuff of both of these guys, and I really do. I don't have any player era cards of these two. Would love to at least get the first guy that I mentioned. I know the second one's going to be probably a little harder for me to get, but I got my eyes on a couple for this first one, and that's Babe Ruth or Ty Cobb.
Yeah, I got to give the edge to Cobb.
Cobb.
Obviously, my
Okay.
go with my heart. So this is like his one of his early
Nice.
postcards.
Awesome.
Picked this one up just the end of last year from Phil Gary. So
Great.
yeah, I mean it's gonna be Cobb. Obviously I know Ruth. Great. I showed the one earlier.
Yeah.
My captions here somewhere. I don't know where I put it right now, but I got piles everywhere. But I mean that's another great set too. Is the captions.
And I tell you
photos.
that's the card that I was talking about. That's my target card
Yeah.
for what I'm trying to add is either that one and I would also like the Sonella. I think the Sonella is a great one of his.
No, I don't mind to sell at all. And
So-
I actually even like the Max Schmeling one too. I mean, they're all like,
Yeah.
look, Just
Yeah.
Babe Ruth. Like just to have
Yeah.
one while he was playing. That's
Yeah.
special, right? So
Yeah.
it doesn't matter what you
And
have.
I don't have the budget to get into a Gaudi or anything like that for Ruth. I mean, I could. It would just take me quite a while to get there.
Yeah.
So, and I choose. I want to buy other stuff. While I'm, I don't want to have to save for, a Gaudi Ruth or that. I mean, I don't necessarily have to in my collecting. So, but as long as if I would be able to get a Cashin or the Sinella, I would be happy, and
Yeah.
that would fulfill what I'm looking for. So, but yeah. Um, in the Ty Cobb, I just don't know where to even attack that on my budget. So I don't know. Maybe you can give me a pointer.
Yeah, I
What
mean,
this?
if you don't hate the strip cards, like that, like this Ruth's a strip card, right? Like if you don't mind the
Yeah,
strip cards, like there's some that are better than others, like in terms of the
yeah,
makeup look that they have.
yeah.
So like for example, I'm trying to find. I know like for like this set's pretty nice. Like I think Cobb's in this, the W512. Like
Okay,
those aren't terrible. They're like they
okay,
actually like the player, but like
okay.
some are worse than others. Like that's a Hornsby, obviously, but like those are pretty good. And then like the W514, like yeah, but if you're like you can get one for around 1,000-ish. It just depends. Like the condition,
Okay,
it can be even less, right? So it depends
yeah,
on what you're willing to
okay.
accept. Like I've like some of my cards for Hornsby are like rough. Like there's like corners missing. Like let me see if I can find one that's like really bad. Like yeah, this Hornsby, the W514, the whole one of the edges just got cut because the way they're strip
Oh,
cards, right? So
okay. Yeah, well,
but
yeah,
I'm still
that's
happy
true.
to have it,
Yeah,
right? So
yeah,
then there's some of
yeah.
these candy issues too that are a little bit cheaper. So
Okay,
it's honestly it depends on which ones you're okay with. What your preference is in terms of cards, right? Like this
yeah.
isn't a bad set either. Like this W516s are good.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you get the
Okay.
caramel cards, some of those other ones are gonna easily be a couple grand each for a card, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
I don't know. Depends on your but and
yeah.
obviously there's the team cards, like there's the Fatima cards, there's like the
Oh, yeah.
this
True. Yeah,
HM Taylor, there's a team postcard for a cop from that year, right? That's again
yeah,
if you're looking at authentic and like I like the ones that went through the mail. Mine went through the mail, right? So
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
mind that. I
No,
actually enjoy that because it just kind of dates the card, right?
yeah.
So
No, those Fatima cards are cool. Yeah, that's cool.
yeah, so
For
there's
sure.
options out there. It just depends
Yeah,
what you consider a card. Some people hate the postcard. Some people I love postcards. I love oversized. So
yeah,
everyone has their own rules. I don't like to have rules. Is my main rule now. I don't want rules. Other than
yeah.
I like to
Exactly.
have the early just because I feel like it's like I don't know. I grew up in the rookie card era, I guess, right in the '80s when it was like the focus,
Exactly.
right? So maybe it's
Oh,
just still
yeah.
embedded in me. But
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, no, yeah, I guess maybe part of it is maybe I feel like I'm a little overwhelmed and trying to get into a Cobb. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I could get into Ruth easier than a Cobb really right now. So maybe, I don't know. That's kind of where I lead to
well, it's also
both
the
of those
game cards.
guys.
If you're
So
okay with like, so like, I know they have the fan craze one that showed earlier, but like in the 13-14, there was like the national game and the my buddy Dave, Legends of the Dugout got like I think it was a national game or there's like three different. There's like a polo. There's like anyway. There's like three different issues, but like
yeah,
I think $600-700 you can get like a one or two. Like I mean, like and it's got a pretty decent like some have decent images. It's just like the fan craze ones are not bad.
yeah, for
So
sure, for sure, for
it
sure.
depends what you're willing to accept as a card. Like
Yeah,
to me they're all cards. Like
yeah,
I mean, literally postcard has the word card in it. So anyway, all these things count in my book.
yeah. No,
I've
I
even been doing
agree.
newspapers lately. I started doing newspapers, like, which is way off the beaten path, right? I've really enjoyed like buying a newspaper, like Sporting News supplements or like any other type of supplement. Sporting Life. I got a Hornsby
Sure.
Sporting Life recently. Really
Yeah,
cool, and like you just
yeah.
don't see them.
Oh,
So
I no, I
early
agree. Some of
images,
them.
right? So
Yeah, some of yeah, there you see some really great magazine images and pictures in it. Yeah, I agree. That's a different way to go about it for sure.
yeah,
So yeah, awesome. Well, Matt, that was awesome. We had a lot of fun on that. I just want to thank you for your time and just you. Really, what I want to. What I just thank you for your friendship. I really do because, like I said at the beginning of this, you were a big you were a big part of why I started the channel, and it's something that I always appreciate. So thank you, Matt.
you're very welcome. Happy to do it, like I said, and you've done a
Yeah,
great job. And I look
thank you,
forward to watching your channel grow more and
thank
see
you.
what you pick up. And hopefully, I could maybe be there when we pick up one of these Cobb or Ruth cards to add to your collection. Would be great.
That would be awesome. That would be incredible. That would be awesome. So, well, um, before we sign off for the evening, as the YouTube community, as we now know, we recently lost a great hobby member in our community, Steve Cards. we lost him unexpectedly, and it's just one of those things that you just never know when it's our day, and it, it's it's I don't even know what to say. I don't know. It's just tough. That's all I
Very
got to
tough.
say. It's a tough situation, and I'm praying for his family during this time. And I didn't really know Steve. I watched his videos, but I didn't interact a whole lot with him. I did enjoy watching his channel. And Matt, you can kind of give your sentiment here as we just kind of pay respects towards Steve.
Yeah, no, of course. I did. I feel bad. I didn't get to meet him last year in Songs, but I know he was only there on the Friday, right? So similar with me. Again, I stopped making channel or videos right around the same time he jumped on, like right around a year ago, right? So we didn't get a chance to do a collaboration. Obviously, I watched the one he did with For Collectors with John. Um, he did a lot of great videos. I mean, obviously I loved his Binder Hall of Fame project he was doing. It was
Mhm.
like, he was trying to get the
Yeah,
interaction with the community. Just a really great guy. And to your point, like you just never know when. I mean, mid
yeah,
40s, like younger than me. So like
yeah,
obviously I'm on borrowed time, but you just
yeah,
never know, right?
exactly.
We all have an expiration clock. We don't know when it's going to be, and it's
Yeah,
a terrible tragedy. And obviously, like kind of the tough part I think as humans is we're all feeling it this week. And obviously, like you said, most importantly, we're thinking about his family, his other all
yeah,
the YouTube community, and all the rest of his friends up there in Pennsylvania. But like I mean, we just gotta live for today, all right?
that's
And
right. That's
obviously,
right.
I know he was a man of faith, right? So I know I take some
Sure.
solace in that. That helps
Yep.
in
Yep.
terms of I
Definitely.
know he's in a better place, and obviously everything happens for a reason, right? So I don't not here to
Yeah.
question anything, obviously, right? But definitely feel bad about the situation, and
For sure. For
like
sure.
obviously there's been some great outreach from the community. There's a GoFundMe out there
Yes.
that's been doing really well. And obviously there was a whatnot today. I totally forgot to jump on that, so I feel terrible. So that hopefully some people got on that today on this
Mhm.
Thursday. But yeah, and I know Eddie's doing an auction on Discord this week. If you're on that Discord server, not sure when it's going to drop, Brian. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's just I know everyone's trying to do what they can. I was looking forward to actually meeting him this year. I missed him last year, so terrible tragedy. I'm gonna have. I don't drink coffee, but I'll go and make some coffee when I'm in Ohio. Try to get some coffee or
Yeah.
something for him, and
Yeah.
kind of have. I'm sure
Exactly.
it'll be. I'm sure we're gonna be kind of a little celebration of life for him when we're all in
Yeah.
Ohio this year, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, you guys will definitely have a special moment for sure up there, and wish I could be there with you guys. And he started his channel, in 2025, like I did, and so
yeah,
it's he's kind of right like how I started my channel, and so it's just one of them things that he was putting out some great content, and I really enjoyed his videos, and we're going to honor him tonight. We're going to show some Pirates cards. So I'm gonna
perfect.
go ahead and show my card. Steve, this is for you. This is a Daily Juice Roberto Clemente in your honor.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Matt.
yeah. I don't have any Clemente cards. I don't show Aaron's. I wanted to get a little bit of just solo Pirates. So this is a
Sure.
Willie Stargell pops.
Awesome.
This is from like the local pharmacy in Pittsburgh. So IDL Pharmacy. So
Nice. Very
obviously
nice.
Steve, we miss you, buddy. Miss your videos, but I did also grab this Ricky Henderson. I know he was a big Henderson in the A's uniform, especially, right? So I had that out as well for him. But yeah, tough loss for the community.
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely make sure that it's like, anytime these things happen, I think humans have this tendency to be resilient, right? So I think like in the moment we're all kind of in our feelings for this week, right? But then hopefully we kind of maintain that because I feel like we kind of all start thinking about things for a little bit, and then we go back to normal. So hopefully we don't do that, but
Yeah.
tends to be what happens, unfortunately, right? So it's nice to take a moment out
Yeah.
and honor him a little bit here. So
Yeah,
thanks
for
Brian
sure.
for letting us do that.
For sure. For sure. And like Steve, we'll definitely be thinking of you and your family, and we're gonna miss you. That's for sure. Um, Kind of hard for me to go out this way, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode tonight. Until next time, we'll talk to you from the card bar. Have a good night, guys.